In the chaos of life, where noise seems to define existence, silence holds an unparalleled power. For those chosen by God, this silence is not just a virtue, it is a shield, a sanctuary. What if I told you that the secrets you guard could determine your destiny? Today we explore the sacred wisdom of knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, a practice that could transform your spiritual journey forever. Your future plans and dreams are treasures of immeasurable value, gifts from God designed to guide you toward your divine purpose. But like seeds planted in fertile soil, they require care, patience, and protection to flourish. In a world filled with noise and distractions, where everyone is eager to share every fleeting thought or aspiration, the chosen ones must walk a different path, a path of strategic silence. Proverbs 29:11 tells us, "A fool expresses all his feelings, but the wise suppress them." This is not just a proverb, it is a principle that can shape your destiny. The enemy does not have the ability to see your future, but he is an expert at interpreting what you reveal. Every careless word, every premature announcement becomes ammunition in his hands to sow doubt, fear, and confusion. Silence, therefore, becomes your strongest defense, a fortress protecting your God-given vision. Consider Mary, the mother of Jesus. When the angel Gabriel revealed her miraculous destiny, she did not rush to tell the world. She held that promise close, pondering it in her heart, nurturing it in the sacred space of prayer and reflection. Imagine if she had shared it with those who would not understand, those who might ridicule or reject her. The weight of their skepticism could have crushed the delicate beginnings of her faith. Instead, she trusted God's timing, allowing his plan to unfold without interference. Dreams are like newborns, fragile, dependent, and vulnerable to the harsh elements of the outside world. When you share your dreams prematurely, you expose them to criticism, jealousy, and misunderstanding. The wrong words, spoken by the wrong people, can stunt their growth or even destroy them entirely. Like Mary, you must learn to incubate your dreams in silence. Protect them as you would protect a child, shielding them from harm until they are strong enough to stand on their own. Even Joseph, the dreamer, learned this lesson the hard way. When he shared his God-given visions with his brothers, their envy led to betrayal. What seemed like a harmless act of sharing became the catalyst for years of hardship and suffering. Yet through it all, Joseph's dreams were not destroyed, for God's plans cannot be thwarted. But how much easier might his journey have been if he had kept those dreams between himself and the Lord until the appointed time? Silence does not mean passivity, it means intentionality. It means surrendering your dreams to God, trusting him to guide their growth and protect them from harm. Pray over them, meditate on them. Let them mature in the secret place where God refines and strengthens them. And when the time is right, when the roots are deep and the branches are strong, he will reveal them to the world in a way that no one can deny. Remember, not everyone is meant to understand your vision. Some will doubt, others will mock, and a few may even try to sabotage what God has placed in your heart. But their opinions do not define your destiny. God's voice is the only one that matters, and he speaks most clearly in the quiet moments of solitude and prayer. So, chosen ones, guard your future plans and dreams as the treasures they are. Resist the urge to broadcast them to the world, even when the excitement feels overwhelming. Instead, let your silence be a sanctuary, a holy space where your vision can grow without interference. In time, what God has planted in you will bear fruit, abundant, undeniable, and unshakable. Until that day comes, trust in him and let your dreams remain hidden in the safety of his care. Family is more than just a collection of individuals. It is a sacred institution, a sanctuary where love, trust, and support are meant to flourish. Yet, in today's age of social media and constant sharing, the temptation to expose the intimate details of family life can be overwhelming. But for God's chosen ones, discretion is not just wise, it is essential. Proverbs 17:9 tells us, "Whoever promotes love covers an offense, and 1 Peter 4:8 reminds us, "Love covers a multitude of sins." These verses reveal a profound truth. Family matters are sacred, and their sanctity must be guarded. Every household faces challenges, disagreements, financial struggles, health issues, but these should be dealt with in private, away from the prying eyes and opinions of the world. Broadcasting such vulnerabilities only invites unnecessary criticism, misunderstanding, and even division. Consider the story of Noah and his sons. After the flood, Noah, in a moment of weakness, became drunk and lay uncovered in his tent. One of his sons exposed his nakedness, but the other two chose to cover him, walking backward to preserve his dignity. This act of discretion protected the unity of their family and upheld the respect their father deserved. In the same way, chosen ones must cover the vulnerabilities of their loved ones, ensuring that love, not judgment, prevails. In a world where oversharing is celebrated, keeping family matters private is an act of rebellion against the culture of gossip and spectacle. Marital disputes, conflicts with children, or financial challenges should never become fodder for casual conversations or social media posts. Instead, seek wisdom from trusted, spiritually mature individuals who can offer guidance without judgment. Imagine if Mary had run to Elizabeth, complaining about Joseph's initial doubts regarding her pregnancy. Such a reaction could have sown discord and confusion, but Mary chose silence and faith, trusting God to work in their relationship. The enemy thrives on division, and every exposed vulnerability becomes a foothold for his schemes. When you air your family's struggles, you open the door to unnecessary drama and conflict. But when you handle these issues with grace, humility, and prayer, you create an environment where healing and reconciliation can take root. God's hand moves most powerfully in the hidden places, away from the noise and distractions of the world. Let us not forget that family is a gift from God, a reflection of His love and unity. By keeping your household matters private, you honor that gift, allowing God to work in ways that are often unseen but always profound. Handle every challenge with discretion, covering your loved ones with love and grace, just as God covers you with His. Remember, chosen ones, your role in the family is not to expose, but to protect, not to judge, but to uplift. When you create a safe and loving environment within your household, you mirror the heart of God, fostering a sanctuary where His blessings can abound. Trust Him with your family's burdens, and let His peace reign in your home. What you guard in private, God will honor in public, restoring and strengthening your family in ways beyond what you could imagine. Victories are moments of grace, gifts from God that signify breakthroughs in your journey. But in their early stages, these triumphs are delicate, much like young plants that need time to take root before facing the elements. The excitement of a breakthrough often tempts us to announce it to the world. But chosen ones hear this wisdom: silence is your shield. Proverbs 21:5 declares, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty." Rushing to share your victories exposes them to envy, criticism, and spiritual attacks. The enemy is always watching, seeking opportunities to undermine what God is building in your life. When you reveal your success prematurely, you might inadvertently hand him the tools to sabotage it. Consider the story of Joseph. His God-given dreams of future greatness were real, but when he shared them with his brothers, it stirred jealousy and led to betrayal. Though Joseph's destiny was secure in God's plan, the premature revelation of his dreams brought unnecessary hardship. His story reminds us that timing is everything. Sharing your victories too soon can invite challenges you may not be ready to face. Look at King Saul, who, after being anointed as Israel's first king, was instructed by the prophet Samuel to wait for God's signs before taking action. But Saul's impatience led him to act prematurely, resulting in his downfall. In contrast, David, after defeating Goliath, did not rush to claim glory. He remained humble, allowing his victory to speak for itself in God's perfect timing. Victories, especially your first ones, are sacred milestones in your spiritual journey. They are not meant to be paraded before the world, but nurtured in the quiet place of gratitude and prayer. The early stages of success are when the enemy is most likely to strike, using jealousy, distraction, or even self-doubt to derail your progress. Silence protects your triumphs, allowing them to grow strong under God's care. Imagine planting a sapling and immediately exposing it to harsh winds and blazing sun. Without time to root deeply, it would wither. In the same way, your victories need time to establish themselves before being revealed. Trust in God's timing, for He knows the perfect moment to showcase what He has done in your life. The story of David teaches us another profound truth. Humility amplifies God's glory. After his victory over Goliath, David did not boast or seek validation. Instead, he allowed his actions to testify to God's power. This humility solidified his path to kingship, showing that true strength lies in letting God's work speak for itself. Chosen ones, your breakthroughs are not just for you. They are part of a greater purpose. When you protect them with silence, you allow God to refine and multiply them, preparing them for a time when their impact will be undeniable. There will be a moment to celebrate publicly, but that moment belongs to God's timing, not yours. So guard your victories with wisdom and patience. Let them mature in the secret place, where God's hands can strengthen their foundation. Pray over them, give thanks for them, and resist the urge to seek validation from the world. When the time is right, God will reveal your triumphs in a way that silences doubt and magnifies His glory. Until then, let your victories remain between you and the Lord, for in the quiet, they will grow into blessings beyond measure. Financial stability is a blessing from God, a resource entrusted to us for stewardship, not display. Yet, in a world obsessed with wealth and appearances, the temptation to flaunt material success is everywhere. Chosen ones, remember this. Silence is your safeguard, for your financial situation is one of the enemy's favorite targets. Proverbs 13:11 warns, "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it." This scripture reveals that true prosperity is built quietly, steadily, and with patience. The moment you begin showcasing your financial blessings, whether it's a new purchase, a promotion, or an investment gain, you invite unnecessary attention. Envy, manipulation, and even theft often follow the trail of excessive boasting. King Hezekiah's story serves as a sobering lesson. After God miraculously healed him from a deadly illness, Hezekiah welcomed envoys from Babylon and in a moment of pride showed them all the treasures of his kingdom. He thought he was impressing them, but in reality, he was exposing his vulnerabilities. The prophet Isaiah rebuked him, and soon after, those same Babylonians came to plunder everything Hezekiah had revealed. His pride turned a divine blessing into an open door for destruction. Let this story remind you that not everyone who claps for your success has good intentions. Some will celebrate outwardly while harboring jealousy or hidden agendas. Others may see your blessings as an opportunity for exploitation. By keeping your financial matters private, you shield yourself from these threats and allow God to protect what He has given you. Material wealth is fleeting, but spiritual wealth is eternal. When you focus on the latter, you align yourself with God's purpose, ensuring that your blessings are used for His glory and not for shallow recognition. Proverbs 22:1 states, "A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold." This verse calls us to prioritize character over possessions, integrity over outward displays of success. Consider this. The wealthiest individuals are often the quietest about their fortunes. They understand that true security lies not in what is seen, but in what is hidden. Similarly, Your financial growth should be a private matter between you and God. Trust Him as your provider, knowing that He sees your needs and will supply them in abundance. There is no need to prove your blessings to others when God's provision speaks louder than words. Even in times of abundance, remember the biblical principle of humility. Jesus Himself, though King of Kings, lived humbly, teaching us that life's true riches are found in service, love, and faith. By following His example, you demonstrate to the world that your treasure lies not in earthly possessions, but in your relationship with God. Chosen ones, resist the urge to flaunt your financial blessings. Instead, use them wisely and with gratitude. Invest in what matters: your faith, your family, and the kingdom of God. Let your generosity be quiet and your humility profound. When you keep your finances private, you protect them from the enemy's attacks and position yourself to receive even greater blessings. Trust that God knows what you need before you ask. Let Him be the one to exalt you in His perfect timing, and let your testimony be one of quiet obedience and faithful stewardship. In the end, it is not the wealth you amass, but the faith you cultivate that will leave a lasting legacy. Keep your eyes on the provider, not the provision, and watch as He multiplies your blessings in ways you never imagined. Spiritual encounters are sacred gifts, divine moments where heaven meets earth, and God speaks directly to the chosen ones. These experiences, dreams, visions, angelic visitations, and divine revelations, are treasures meant to deepen your faith and guide your journey. But chosen ones, hear this: not every encounter is meant to be shared. Ecclesiastes 3:7 teaches us that there is a time to speak and a time to remain silent. Spiritual encounters often belong to the latter. They are like precious seeds planted in the secret place of your heart. If exposed prematurely, they can be misunderstood, mocked, or even attacked by the enemy. Silence protects their sacredness, allowing them to take root and grow into the fullness of God's purpose. Consider Mary, the mother of Jesus. When the angel Gabriel brought her the life-altering news that she would bear the Savior of the world, she did not run to announce it to everyone. Instead, she treasured the revelation in her heart, nurturing it in silence and prayer. This act of discretion shielded the divine plan from gossip and skepticism, allowing God to work unhindered. Similarly, the Apostle Paul speaks of being caught up into the third heaven in 2 Corinthians 12. There he encountered mysteries so profound that he was not permitted to share them. Even a man of Paul's spiritual stature understood that some revelations are too sacred for public consumption. They are meant to transform the individual, not to become topics of casual conversation. The story of John the Apostle in Revelation 10 is another powerful example. When the 7 thunders spoke, John was ready to write down what he heard, but God stopped him, saying, "Do not write it down." Why? Because some divine truths are meant to remain sealed, hidden until their appointed time. These biblical accounts reveal a crucial truth. Spiritual encounters are not meant for the applause of men, but for the deepening of your walk with God. Sharing them prematurely can diminish their impact and invite unnecessary interference. The enemy thrives on confusion and doubt, and exposing sacred experiences to unprepared ears can open the door to his schemes. Chosen ones, your spiritual encounters are personal invitations to draw closer to God. They are not trophies to be displayed or stories to be sensationalized. Instead, they are tools for growth, refinement, and intimacy with the Creator. Pray over them, meditate on their meaning, and seek God's guidance on when or if they should be shared. Some revelations are meant to remain between you and the Lord for a lifetime. Others may be revealed in God's perfect timing, to the right people and for the right purpose. Until then, guard them with care. Like seeds planted in the soil, they need time to grow in the darkness before they break through the surface to bear fruit. Remember, not everyone is equipped to understand what God has shown you. Some will doubt, others will criticize, and a few may even envy your spiritual connection. But their reactions do not diminish the truth of your experience. What matters is that you remain faithful to the one who entrusted you with these revelations. So, chosen ones, hold your spiritual encounters close, cherishing them as sacred moments meant for your journey. Let them shape your character, deepen your faith, and strengthen your relationship with God. When the time is right, He will guide you in sharing them, and their impact will be undeniable. Until then, let them remain hidden in the quiet places of your heart, where they can grow into the fullness of God's plan for your life. Silence is not weakness, it is strength, wisdom, and protection. By guarding your dreams, family, victories, finances, and spiritual encounters, you honor what God has entrusted to you. Do not seek validation from the world, seek it from God, whose timing is perfect. When the moment comes, the fruits of your silence will be undeniable, a testimony of His grace and power. Until then, remain humble, remain silent, and let God work in ways that will leave the world in awe.